Hello, members of the Soulful Goddess. It's Leah Vanderlinden here, and I am so excited to give you guys some ideas and some tips on how to move old and stagnant energy out of not only the emotional systems of the body, or emotional centers of the body, I should say, aka chakras, but how to also move them literally out of your mind and your body physically, mentally, and emotionally. We had posted something in here today about how to move stagnant energy out of the body, and it's gotten some conversations going, and people were asking how can they do this. So I wanted to give you guys some tips and tricks on what I do and other things that you can do. So I would love to know who I have the pleasure and honor of sharing space with tonight. So feel free to just let me know in the comments who is joining me. I would love to say hi to you if you're catching me live, or even if you're catching me on the replay. Let me go ahead and sign into the group here too so I can see you guys. Hi Armani, how are you? So let me get in here and do this real quick so that I can interact. So while I'm looking for that, what are your guys's, or for the group, what are your guys's favorite ways to move old energy out of the body and out of the mind? So let me make sure though I'm seeing everybody's comments. Okay, so while we're talking here, one of my favorite ways to move energy out of the body, and before I even start with that, let me back it up. Jojo said dance. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I didn't put that on there, but yes. I love that. So let me back it up. So how you might know that you need to move energy out of the body, or energy out of your emotional centers, your chakras, or out of the mind, meaning that you find yourself getting really defensive, you might find yourself feeling really heavy, or like you're stuck, like you just can't move. You start finding yourself getting into self-sabotaging behaviors. I'm very guilty of this, right? You can feel yourself feeling gloomy, overly emotional, worry, even dark, right? And so the reason that you want to move this energy out is for numerous reasons. Not only do you not want it to affect how you respond to things, how you interact with life, how you make choices, but you also don't want it to stay stagnant in the body too long, where it starts to cause sickness. The longer that it stays and the longer that it doesn't move in the body, it can start to eventually cause physical sickness as well, and physical pain. So it's really important that you move energy out of the body, and not just in a physical way, meaning you get up and you move and you do things, but emotionally moving it out of the mind too, so that it doesn't become our programming and it doesn't become our quick triggered responses, right? What happens is it starts to be, when energy hasn't moved in so long, it starts to become the way that we respond. And we think, oh, well, that's just kind of the way I am, or that's things I need to work on. But sometimes it's the energy attached to that original wound that is causing the reactions and even causing the depression and the darkness. So one of the ways that I like to move energy out is literally moving energy out of my house. Sometimes it's having and being surrounded by memories of old things that might have old energy attached to them. If you still have items from a divorce, or items of a loved one that passed, but there's still a lot of heaviness to the fact that they passed, so then when you see those, you get right back. The energy stays alive with that event, and you get right back to the day they passed, and you find yourself, going back to all the emotions that happened when you lost them, right? Or is it that you have, friends and items of friends that you're no longer friends with, things like that. Like, it's really great to move not only energy out of your body and your thoughts, but out of your house. So start to donate things, declutter, throw things away, give things away, sell things, really move things out of your house. And what that does in many ways is not only does it move energy out of the house, but it opens up this floodgate in many ways, where now you can manifest more things that you actually want because you have the space and the openness to do so. Okay, so decluttering, making room for more. Another thing is, like Jojo suggested, one of his favorite ways to move energy out is he loves to dance. He's moving, right? And anytime you move, you force yourself to breathe. And when you breathe, most of the time, and you're forcing yourself to breathe, you're allowing breath, aka life, to get into the body and move old energy out. Hi, Claudia. Hi, Jenny. So you can dance, you can stretch, you can walk, which is one of my favorite ways, and you can jump, you can do yoga, you can do all kinds of things. Another thing that moves you out of old energy, as silly as it sounds, hi Ambrosia, is yes, and Jojo said dancing also express yourself. Yes, and if you have old energy attached to emotions from when you were a child because you weren't allowed to freely express yourself or express your voice or your talents or your uniqueness, when you're moving the energy out in those ways, what you do is you let the inner child feel love, you let her feel safe, and you move that old energy out where she didn't feel that way before. Right? If an inner child was really attached to having things because she didn't get to have the things she wanted as a child, or they were always taken from her, or whatever, she might find herself hoarding and clinging to things, especially if she had this list of a few things she wanted and she never got it. Well, now when she goes and she gets things, she might hold on to them, right? For the sake of honoring her inner child, not realizing why she's doing this. So moving that out also moves out old emotion and old energy attached to those events. Hi, Christy. So another thing is doing a good deed. Doing a good deed helps you remove things out on an energetic level, right? So we've got a physical way that you can move old energy out, and then we have an energetic level. So when we do a good deed, it's an energetic and an emotional release. You allow yourself to have compassion, empathy, to go out of victim consciousness where you're not the victim anywhere in this story, but in other ways you're trying to find solutions on how you can help someone out of their problem. And in many ways that gets you out of whatever feels like a problem to you that might feel like, might be the reason why the energy is stuck. And what it does is it allows you to feel like you're making a difference. And for that brief moment you're doing the good deed, you're out of that old energy and you've just shifted out of that energy. Does that make sense? So it's a really powerful releaser, doing a good deed. Gratitude, saying gratitude out loud of what you are grateful for takes you instantly out of scarcity mindset and scarcity energy, and it moves energy around. So doing journaling where you're writing down your what you're grateful for. Another thing that you can do is breath work. That's one of my favorite ways to move energy out of the body, because what it does is it literally removes all negative energy. And every time that you are doing breath and you're breathing that forceful like you do in breath work, you are literally moving that negative energy out of the body and those old negative emotions without having to release them. And it's so powerful. So even if you are at a place in your life that you can't physically move a lot because you have physical restrictions, if you spent even 10 minutes a day doing breath work on a consistent level, you are going to notice a major difference when it comes to moving energy out of the body and feeling stuck. Another thing you can do is allow yourself to cry. Get a really good cry out or a really good laugh. Just the other day, I found myself feeling stuck in my emotions, and I got on Netflix and I looked up comedians, and I just allowed myself for literally 3 hours to watch comics and allow myself to just laugh. And laughing allows the inner child to feel joy, to feel safe, right? But it also releases energy. Journaling removes energetic It removes it on an energetic level and an emotional level. So when you write, you allow those thoughts somewhere to go, and you allow that energy somewhere to go. Being in nature. Nature is incredible because it gives your body and your mind like a system reboot. Just spending a few minutes in nature not only grounds you and supplies you with what you need and the nutrients from, the soul nutrients from just being able to absorb the sun and the wind or the coldness or the hot and the heat, right? Being able to hear the sounds of nature, all of that literally reboots you in many ways, and it moves so much energy around. Then you also have complaining. The simple thing as trying to be mindful throughout the day of not complaining has such a powerful way of shifting energy. It is crazy. I don't know if you guys remember when we did the complaint-free diet and the complaint-free challenge in here, and we had people go 24 hours without complaining, and people were talking about what a difference they felt and how they felt so much more in control of their thoughts, and they realized how grateful they were for their life, and they had a complete energetic shift just doing that for 24 hours. Okay, so you're moving yourself out of thinking anything negative is happening to you, and instead you're absorbing what's happening for you. And it's a really powerful way to feel back, to feel more control in your life. Reiki is another really powerful one, doing chakra work, doing meditation. It's moving stuff out on an emotional level. And then if you pair the meditation with arm movement or dance or swaying the body, you're not only emotionally moving it out, but you're physically moving it out. So you're doing the best of both worlds there. You're really acting as a tag team to get that stagnant energy out of the body and any emotions attached to it along the way. Okay? So just want to make sure here I'm not missing any comments. I don't think I am. I see JoJo's, and then let me make sure.
To it along the way.
Okay, yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So just JoJo's, and then let me make sure.
Oh, beep, beep. Sorry. So emotions. Emotions have heavy energy. We all know that. Emotions and words and events oftentimes have really heavy energy. So it's important that we're constantly, daily, moving that energy out of our body. Another thing you can do is sage yourself. Literally, when you get home or you've had a really rough day, asking that spirit removes any negative energy from your thoughts, from your aura, from your body, and just literally sage them out, okay? Another thing that you can do is allowing yourself to literally sing at the top of your lungs, moving that energy out of the throat chakra. Any attachment that you've had in the past of suppressing your voice when you know you really want to speak, or saying something and being worried about being judged, you're going to constantly have negative energy in there around that if that's something you went through, if you don't move it out. So allow yourself in the shower to sing at the top of your lungs, or in the car to just shout, but move that energy out that feels blocked up, if it comes to anything about every time you go to say something you feel judged or anything like that. You want to make sure you move that out of the throat, okay? So another thing that can make you feel trapped is holding on to fear. So if you're not understanding why you still have all this stuff, why you still feel stuck when you've done all this work, it might be that you're holding on to fear, right? Or you're holding on to judgment against yourself or judgment against others. So examine yourself when you're feeling stuck. Am I holding on to old emotions? Is there an event that's coming up that's making me doubt my worthiness? Are there things coming up in my life that's making me feel stuck? Am I getting ready to take the biggest leap of my life and I'm scared shitless, so I'm pushing myself back? What is it that's making you feel stuck? And then once you have identified that, then you can do any of these activities to make sure that you remove whatever feels stuck. Does that make sense? On a physical and an emotional level. if you really can't get to the root of what it is that's stuck, but you just feel really stagnant and really blah in life, the easiest way would be to start with doing 10 minutes, like I said, 10 minutes of breath work a day, just to move energy out. You don't necessarily have to know what the old energy is or what the old emotion or event is. You just know you want to move it out. So then you just say, Spirit, I'm unaware of what I'm attached to, or I'm unaware of what's making me feel so, so stagnant, so stuck. Can you help me breathe it out? Can you help me move it out? And Spirit will, Source will, okay? One thing I want you to know is when you're feeling stuck energetically, you can't think your way out of it. Almost all the other stuff we're always going to tell you, you can think your way out of it. Choose the positive thought. But when it comes to energy, you can't think it. You can't necessarily think it out of the body. You have to move it on an energetic level or an emotional level, okay? So you can't think your way out of it because thinking most of the time is what got you stuck in the first place. It's what's making you feel trapped in the first place. So you want to do the opposite to that, right? You don't want to think it out. Try to think it out if that's what got you there in the first place. Hi, Katie. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Stacy. Instead, you want to move it out, okay? Movement is key to really changing the energy and really being able to experience more success, more love, more abundance, more money, more joy, more peace, and more positive emotions. So I hope these helped you. I would love to hear what you guys personally do to move energy out of the body. So yeah, feel free. I love learning from you all. But in the meantime, do you try any of these? If not, which one are you willing to give a try? Can't wait to hear. All right, guys, the most important thing is that you become conscious if you feel, if you feel stuck and you try to do something to actively move it, okay? And last but not least, what I was going to say is if you find that your energy is just, you feel like it's stuck with someone else and you just can't get past their emotions and the things you may have taken on for them and the heaviness of them, then one thing I would say to you is, like we talked about earlier, is saging yourself. But another thing that you can do is cord removal and removing the energetic cord that's keeping you attached to that situation, that time, or that event or person, so that you're not continuing every time you have those emotions to feed life into that cord anymore. And you can pull it back and do cord cutting meditations on YouTube for free and really pull that cord away and that cord back and pull your power back into you and your energy back into you. Okay? I hope that helps. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon.